The Greek Meteora are huge stone pillars veiled in mystery and legends that thrill the visitors. Learn a lot of interesting facts about these amazing monadnocks with numerous monasteries on their peaks. The Thessalian plain is located in central Greece and is surrounded by mountains. The most remarkable are those at its northwestern end with giant stone pillars which rise up reaching for the sky. Those are the Meteora, which look impressive even from a distance. And if you look closely, you will see buildings on many of the peaks. These are centuries-old monasteries. Kalambaka, a small Greek town, is located at the feet of Meteora. It takes its name from the largest of the monasteries built on the tops of the mountains, the so-called meteoros. This name was transferred to the entire mountain range. In Greek, meteoros means raised up, suspended between heaven and earth. The monadnocks grow to a height of 300 to 500 meters. The monuments rise from heights of 300 to 500 meters. The mountains themselves are worth seeing, but the real treasures not to be missed are the numerous Orthodox convents, also called monasteries. They amaze with their location, architecture, magnificent furnishings and sites. About 60 million years ago, the history of this unique rock formation began in the Paleogene period. There were no mountains yet, and a large river had been carrying sand, stones and other silt into the sea that existed in this place. All this was deposited to form thick layers of sedimentary rock, sandstone and conglomerate. After millions of years, the sea receded and the whole area was lifted upwards, and then slow erosion began. The rains, winds and earthquakes have left only the most weather-resistant rocks, which took the shape of outliers reaching the sky. Their sculpture is diversified by crevices and caves. You don't have to take notes. We have included all the practical info in the description below the video. That's where you can also find links with accommodation, tickets to attractions and tips on how to pay abroad so as not to overpay on currency conversions. Numerous legends and tales tell of the first hermits who appeared in the local caves and rock niches. The fact is that hermitic life began in Meteora even before the 10th century AD. The eremites of that time followed the rules of hermitic life very strictly. They lived in caves and often prayed on the peaks to be as close to God as possible. In the 14th century, the monks Athanasius and Gregorios came to Meteora. They came from the already famous at that time Mount Athos. On their initiative, the first monastery, called the Great Meteoron, usually called Meteoros, was erected. The beauty and inaccessibility of the mountains caused more monks and nuns to come. They felt safe here, especially from Turkish invasions. They were also attracted by the proximity of heaven. More monasteries were established. In total, as many as 24 were built. There were also numerous small hermitages, most often in niches and caves, as well as chapels. Monasteries played a major role in preserving Greek identity when Greece was under Turkish rule. The monasteries are still active. Although only 6 have survived, few monks and nuns still pray in them. 2 of them are all female and 4 are all male. The rest of monasteries are now just ruins. Both the decreasing number of people willing to live the monastic life and the lack of funds for renovations have contributed to their downfall. Active monasteries are open to the public. This is how the monks raise money for necessary renovations, among other things. Nowadays, entering the monasteries is somewhat burdensome but comfortable. Until recently, people willing to enter the monastery grounds were pulled up on ropes, just as were all supplies and other necessary things. Various ladders were also used. It was only in the 1920s that stairs were built. Entry is safe, although for many it can be tiring at times. The meteors have always been a big attraction but only became a tourist hit after the release of the James Bond For Your Eyes Only movie. Many of the scenes took place right in this remarkable place. The monastery complex has been included in the UNESCO World Heritage List. If you have a lot of time, then make sure to see all the operating monasteries, as they are not only magnificent monuments. You will see what hermit life looks like there. You will feel the atmosphere of peace and elusive spirituality prevailing there. It is mandatory to visit the Great Meteoron, the Monastery of St. Valaam and the Monastery of the Holy Trinity. The Great Meteoron, or in other words Holy Monastery of the Transfiguration of the Savoie, is the largest and most important monastery. Situated at an altitude of 613 meters, it is an extremely interesting site that resembles a small castle. The magnificent monastery church with numerous valuable votive gifts and the ossuary with the skull of Saint Athanasius, the founder of the monastery, considered a relic, is just the beginning of the tour. Be sure to visit the museum with its collection of books where some manuscripts date back to the 9th and 10th centuries. You will also see wonderful ancient icons here. The Museum of Folklore is also interesting. 2-level observation decks allow to admire amazing surroundings. The Monastery of St. Valaam is slightly smaller but also remarkable. Here you will also see a magnificent Byzantine church and a museum with beautiful icons. The garden filled with colorful flowers will surely attract your attention. There are even small trees growing here. A unique curiosity is a huge wooden barrel, a rainwater cistern dating back to the 16th century. Made of oak wood, it is still in excellent condition today. Fans of the James Bond movies should definitely visit the Monastery of the Holy Trinity. This is where the final scenes from the aforementioned film took place. Due to rather burdensome entrance, relatively few people visit it. Although it is worth it even only to see the beautiful frescoes in the church. Although all active monasteries are open to tourists, you must remember that they are places of worship. So be sure to behave appropriately and try to maintain silence. Appropriate clothing is required, for example shoulders must be covered. Ladies should have long skirts covering the knees, and gentlemen, long pants. It is possible to rent a suitable garment or a skirt. In many places it is not allowed to take photos. Also, do not enter rooms that are not available for visitors. Entry to the monasteries is paid and costs €3. The fee is collected by the monks at each monastery. Most monasteries also have shops that sell souvenirs and local preserves. When preparing your tour route, be sure to check which monasteries are open on a given day. In high season, each monastery is closed to tourists at least once a week. A visit to Meteora always begins in Kalambaka, a village located at the foot of the mountains. You can easily get there by train, bus or car. Public transport is well organized, but the timetables should be checked on a regular basis as they are changed quite often. You can reach the monasteries from Kalambaka in different ways. If you are not afraid of effort and you have time, then a hike will be excellent. However, you should bring your own food and drinks for the trip as you are unlikely to find stores there. You can also drive to each monastery in a rented car or by cab. An interesting option is a local bus that reaches all the monasteries. There are also organized coach or bus tours with a guide. Such tours are available both from the Athens and Thessaloniki, as well as in the town of Kalambaka itself. If you don't like crowds, then avoid going there from June to August. This is the peak tourist season. In addition to lots of visitors, it is also very hot then. April, May, September and October will provide good weather and no crowds. If only it is possible, avoid visiting at weekends. For Greeks, Meteora is a holy place. It is then when they make pilgrimages to the monasteries. If you're already planning your trip, you can find accommodation and tickets to attractions on the spot in the links under the video description. You can also order a card for cheap payments abroad the same way. Press the bell and subscribe to our channel if you want to receive notifications about new episodes. Have a nice trip.